everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's story is a little different, and honestly, a bit surreal to even talk about. It's about a time in my life when things got complicated. And it all started the day I met my bodyguard. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bodyguard? Aren't you just a regular person? And yes, that's exactly what I thought. My life was pretty average. I had a 9-to-5 job, a small apartment, and a routine that was as predictable as the morning sunrise. I liked my quiet life. I treasured its simplicity, but everything changed because of my family. Without going into all the boring, intricate details, let's just say my family has a certain profile. A business deal went sideways, and suddenly, what used to be distant, abstract worries became very real. Very personal threats. My parents, in a state of understandable panic, decided I needed protection. And that's how he walked into my life. His name was Alex. And he wasn't just any bodyguard. He was from a top-tier firm, what they call an MSA, a Maritime Security Advisor, though he was now on land, assigned to me. The first time I saw him, he was standing in my parents' living room, looking completely out of place. He was tall, impeccably dressed in a sharp but practical suit, and had an aura of calm that was almost unnerving. He didn't smile much. He just observed everything with these intense, focused eyes. My initial reaction, I was annoyed. I felt like a child being assigned a babysitter. I argued with my parents, telling them it was a ridiculous overreaction. I valued my independence, my privacy. Having a shadow follow me 24/7 felt like a prison sentence. I was determined to make his job as difficult as possible. The first week was a silent war. I'd try to slip out the back door for a coffee. He'd be waiting by my car. I'd forget to tell him my plans. He'd somehow already know my schedule. He was a ghost, always present, but never intrusive unless he had to be. We barely spoke. It was just polite. Curt exchanges. Good morning. We're leaving in 5. The area is secure. It was infuriating. I felt like a specimen under a microscope. He represented everything my quiet life was not. Danger, paranoia, and a total loss of freedom. I resented him for it, even though I knew, logically, it wasn't his fault. The turning point came about a month in. I was having a particularly bad day. The pressure of the family situation was getting to me. My work was suffering, and the constant feeling of being watched had frayed my nerves raw. I went to my favorite quiet spot, a little-known park by the river, just to get some air. Of course, he followed, keeping a discreet distance. I finally just snapped. I turned around and confronted him. I let it all out, how I hated this, how I missed my old life, how I felt trapped. I was probably shouting, and I'm pretty sure I was crying. I expected him to be a stone wall, to just stand there and take it, but he didn't. When I finally ran out of steam, he just looked at me, and for the first time, I saw something other than professional detachment in his eyes. It was empathy. He said, "I know this is hard. I know this isn't the life you chose. My only job is to make sure you get to have a life to go back to." It was simple, direct, and it completely disarmed me. It was the first time I saw him not as a guard, but as a person with an incredibly difficult job. After that day, the dynamic between us shifted. The silence became less tense and more comfortable. I started asking him questions, not about his work. He'd never discussed specifics but about him, where he was from, what music he liked, simple things. I learned he grew up in a small town, loved hiking, and had a ridiculous knowledge of classic films. He learned that I was obsessed with gardening and could spend hours in a bookstore. We started talking. Really talking. During long car rides or quiet evenings, when I was stuck at home, we'd share stories. He had this dry, unexpected sense of humor that would just pop up out of nowhere and make me laugh. He started pointing out things I'd never noticed before. He had this incredible awareness of the world around him, a skill from his profession. I guess. He'd spot a rare bird in a tree or notice the way the light hit a building at sunset. He taught me to be more present, to observe my own world more closely. I was so busy resenting my new reality that I had stopped seeing the beauty that was still there. He showed me how to find it again. My life, which had felt like a cage, started to feel bigger in a strange way. The walls were still there, but he was showing me the windows. One evening, we were stuck in traffic, and he told me a story about a protection detail he had in another country. It wasn't about action or danger. It was about the person he was protecting, an elderly journalist who, despite the threats against her, refused to stop writing. He spoke about her courage with such profound respect, and in that moment, I understood. His job wasn't just about preventing physical harm. It was about protecting a person's life, their purpose. It was about enabling people like that journalist, and now me, to keep living, even when the world felt terrifying. He was guarding my future. This new understanding changed everything. I stopped fighting him and started working with him. I saw the immense pressure he was under, the hypervigilance that never wavered. I realized the sacrifices he made, the lack of a personal life, the constant risk. My resentment was replaced by a deep, profound respect. He wasn't just my bodyguard. He became my confidant. My friend. In the middle of the most stressful period of my life, he was the calm in the storm. He was the one person I could be completely honest with because his job was to handle the truth, no matter how ugly. Eventually, the situation with my family was resolved. The threat faded, and the need for protection was gone.
The day he came to say goodbye was one of the strangest days of my life.
The person whose presence I had once loathed was now someone I couldn't imagine my life without. Our farewell was just as professional as our introduction.
A firm handshake, a polite stay, safe.
But the look in his eyes said more than words ever could. And just like that, he was gone. The first few weeks of being free were jarring. The silence in my apartment was deafening. Every time I got in my car, I'd instinctively glance at the passenger seat, expecting to see him there. I had my old life back, the one I had so desperately missed, but it didn't feel the same. I wasn't the same. The quiet I once cherished now felt empty. He had come into my life to protect me from an external threat, but in the process, he had completely rewired my internal world. He turned my life upside down, not by force or by danger, but by his quiet strength, his unexpected humanity, and his unwavering dedication. He showed me what true courage and resilience look like. Meeting him was the most disruptive, unexpected, and ultimately transformative experience I've ever had. I learned that security isn't just about walls and guards. It's about having the strength and peace of mind to truly live. He gave me that. And while my life is quiet again, it's a different kind of quiet. It's richer, more mindful, and filled with a gratitude I never knew before. I might have gotten my old life back, but he gave me a new way to live it. Thank you so much for listening to my story today. It's a very personal one, and I appreciate you all being here. If you enjoyed this video or found it moving, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories. It means the world to me. See you in the next one!